And now for something completely different, I'm going to unbox and take a look at this Jura ENA Micro 9 super automatic espresso machine. So this is the smallest in Jura's line right now, and it is a super automatic, and it also does milk beverages, so it's a one-touch cappuccino maker. On the box, as you can see, there's a strange-looking muffin or pastry or something. I don't know what the heck that is. The top is not much, just a label. It says the wattage, 1450 watts, 120 volts, because I'm in Canada. Made in Portugal. Jura has their coffee machines made by another company, and that company has factories in Portugal and Switzerland. So on the other side is Roger Federer. He's their spokesman, and you can see him here enjoying a, a cup of coffee, and it's Roger Federer's preferred coffee machine manufacturer. And that's about it. Another barcode. So that's the box. I'm going to open it up, see what's inside, see what came with it, what accessories came with it, and yeah, we'll take a look. Okay, so this is the accessory pack that, the welcome pack that comes with the machine. So we'll take a look and see what accessories we got. Okay, so it looks like we have a barcode sticker, Jura ENA 9 daily dismantling and rinsing the dual spout instructions. So I guess it's some extra instructions. Here's the actual instruction manual itself. Multiple languages. I think there's a PDF of that on their website. Looks like we've got a Clairol blue filter cartridge. So to avoid scaling in your machine, you have to either use these filter cartridges or do a descale on the machine to avoid scaling buildup. So they provide one of those. And looks like we have a scoop and a funnel for the bypass doser. We'll get to that. And looks like there's a milk hose for the cappuccino portion, and a Aquador test strip for testing the water hardness. So you can decide if you want to use the filter or just do descaling. And these are 2 free sample cleaning tablets. The machine will prompt you to clean the machine, and you drop in one of these to the bypass doser, the cleaning tablets. So they give you 2 of them. We'll see how long that lasts. And yeah, that's about it. I'm going to open it up and take a look inside. Oh, now I can see more of this. Okay, this thing is a giant coffee bean. That makes more sense. It looks humongous though, which makes it look really weird. Okay, so that's a giant coffee bean on the packaging. I'm going to open it up and take a look at the machine itself. Okay, so I got it unpackaged, and here it is. The micro has the controls on the top instead of the front. Here's the coffee spout. Man, it's pretty small. Bit of extra packaging here. Drip tray. Feels like chrome plated plastic, I guess. I think most of this is plastic. Okay, this goes up. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Drip tray comes out. More shiny plastic. Yeah, the dregs bin is pretty small, and it is all cleanable, looks like. So that's the idea. Okay. What does it say there? Jura service contacts. Okay. So I'll just put this back in here. Okay. So on the top, we have a rinse button, cappuccino button, latte macchiato button, hot water, espresso, and coffee. So just more, double shot with more water. Here's the main programming dial. There's a push button. That's actually pretty stiff. Little dial. Okay. Plastic there. On off. So yeah, this whole thing's a lot smaller than I pictured. Looks like here's the, I don't know if you can see that, bypass doser. Says do not put any beans in there, do not put any liquid in there. So that's where you put the cleaning tabs though. That's where you put the pre-ground coffee. So if you want to do a decaf or some other type of bean, that's where that would go. So this is the grind setting. We have a few grind settings. What was that? 5 grind settings. So I know that you're supposed to only adjust it when it's running. Bean hopper has a little gasket around the rubber gasket to seal it in. Oh, there's more. Dear customer, before being delivered from the factory, your machine was checked and tested with coffee in spite of thorough cleaning. Oh, okay, so they're saying there's traces of coffee down in the grinder. Yeah, there's the grinder. It's supposed to hold a quarter pound of beans, or like 100 and something grams. Let's see. It's supposed to be the water tank. Here it is. Okay. Wow, that's an itty bitty water tank. Yeah, this whole machine is like a teeny tiny little size. It's hard to get that impression until you actually see it in person. But that's where the obviously the water goes, and the filter goes there as well. If you're using the filter, it looks like it goes down here. Put this cover back. Okay. So what else? There are a few, looks like, vents on the side. So you probably want to leave some space around your machine for ventilation. It is boiling hot liquids after all. Oh, the back is, okay, yeah, it's translucent plastic, but it looks a bit black just because there's a Jura button on the back, or just a badge rather. So it actually looks pretty nice. If you have to put it on a counter where you can see the other side of it, it looks pretty decent. I think the other side, yeah, there's no vent on the other side, so the vent is on the left, if that matters. Take one more look at the brew head, or the dispensing. Here's the hot water. I know these tabs are going to make the whole thing disassemble, so you can take it all apart. And the milk hose will go in here, and I'll do a little demo afterwards. So yeah, coffee comes out the front, milk comes out the back, and here's your clearance is pretty decent. I think it's supposed to be 5 inches, so 5.4 inches. So it's pretty good. Slides up and down pretty well. Okay, so I've got it set up now. I've actually been using it for a little bit, and I can tell you more about the good and bad parts, I guess. So one of the good parts is the startup. I've set it to, this is just an empty pitcher, I've set it to automatically rinse on startup, which is a menu in the an option in the menu. This is just the milk hose. And what that does is, as soon as you press the on button, it's gonna power on, and then immediately do the rinse cycle, and then you'll be ready to brew a beverage. So I'll just power that on, and you can see exactly how fast it is to turn on. It is a thermal block design, so the water just goes through a block of metal, gets heated up. That's a little simplified, but so while it's doing that, I've tried all the different beverages, and they're all pretty good. So there's just rinsing. Do more rinsing. And there you go, ready. So it's about 30 seconds from off, and that's completely cold, to on and ready to go in the morning. So it's pretty good. I like to run a little bit of hot water, which is going to come out the side here, just to heat it up a little bit more. You don't have to do a full setting. So that everything's programmable. So this is going to dispense, I think, 4.5 ounces I've set it at. But if I just press a button, same with any other drink, it'll just stop. So I'm making a latte macchiato. It's going to do the milk, and then it's going to do a pause, and then the espresso. So while it's doing that, I can talk about the main pros and cons of the machine. It is small. That's probably the main criticism. The water tank's small. It's only a liter, or 1.1 liters. I think that's without the filter. So if you have hard water and you put the filter in, it's even less. So there's the pause there. I found the grounds bin. It is small because the machine is small, but it also occasionally did a false positive when it said empty grounds on the display, when there was only 2 pucks in there. So I'd only done two beverages, and it said empty grounds. So I've had that a couple of times. The first time I turned it on, I filled the beans in the bean hopper in the back here, and I turned it on, and it said fill beans. So that was a little disturbing. The first time I used it, it said fill beans when I already filled the beans. So I turned it back off and on, basically like a reboot, and that worked. So you can see a bit of the layering here in the macchiato. It's supposed to be a layered drink. It's not a true latte. It cannot do steam milk without the foam to get a true latte, but it's pretty good. I mostly drink the cappuccino anyways, so not too concerned about that. What else? I like the speed of it. Like I said, one thing that Jura could add is on these 2 buttons here for coffee and espresso. It would be great if Jura added hot water to the programming, so you could do Americano, because I prefer Americano rather than a shot of coffee with more water through the coffee. I'd rather have 1 espresso and then hot water afterwards. I mean, hot water has its own button here, so it's a 2-step process for Americano, but they could easily program that in. So that'd be a good thing for them to improve or think about. I'll just move this off here. I would like to see a bit more metal in the drip tray. In particular, it's chrome plastic, but machine is over $1,000, so I think asking for a bit of metal, like this is plastic. This is plastic. Pretty much everything you can touch here is plastic. So just a little bit, like if this was metal, that would be nice. For the parts that with the milk, I understand plastic is better because you're going to be washing those all the time. You don't want anything metal there. I love the fact that it's basically 1 spout. The One Touch seems to have evolved from the traditional machines have a steam on the side, coffee in the middle, and now this one is, they're converged into one. I've seen this in machines in Europe a lot, and I think it's definitely the way to go. One spout, just put your glass under there, press the button, and you're done. I much prefer that. I imagine a lot of machines might move in that direction anyways. So that's good. It's good that Jura is putting them in such a the one touch in such a small machine. It's great. The only drawback, like I said, is you cannot do just steam milk, and you cannot do milk without foam on this model. They have some other models with an adjustment here to change the type of foam, to change the milk dispensing. So they do have that on other machines, just not on this one. Yeah, so I love that it's one spout, one touch, and it's really simple to operate. Like you could show anyone how to use this thing. It's very user friendly in any kind of household. And as you can see, the travel is really good for the spout. The ENA 9 Micro actually has more clearance than the ENA 9, which is the kind of big brother. The ENA 9 is very similar, just taller. This is the Micro, so it's the smallest of their line, but the clearance is really good considering the size of the machine. One more thing to mention: the water tank in the back. You do need a fairly decent counter height. I measured it, and it's about 22 inches if you want to take the water tank all the way out straight up. And then if you're in a counter where you have to pull it straight up and then out, you need about 22 inches or 56 centimeters. However, if you have access to the side, like here, you can pull it up just about there. It's only like three or so inches, and then it goes straight back and then out to the side. So I know when I was looking at this machine as whether or not to buy it, I was thinking that well, first of all, I have no counter space, but I also don't have much clearance over the counters, and this is a great solution to that. Is if you have side access, you just take it out and then go out sideways. So yeah. So this has been a look at the Jura ENA Micro 9 one-touch super automatic espresso machine. As like I said, it's a very small machine, but it has a lot of great features. It's great for smaller spaces. One tank of water gets you about 5 or 6 beverages. That's what I've been using it for about a couple of weeks now, and I get easily the amount of beverages I need in the morning. So that's great. It has programmable features. All these buttons are programmable. It has the milk frothing, automatic frothing on the side. It is a very small footprint, very low height, and as I mentioned, you can get the water tank out through the side as well, which is a nice feature. I would like to see a bit more metal, maybe some chrome, like some real metal for the drip tray maybe. The water tank is small, but it's kind of constrained by the size of the machine, so there's not much you can do about that. Like I said, it does not do pure lattes, and if you're buying this, if you're coming up from a semi-automatic, really it's for the convenience, the one-touch convenience. You turn it on, you put the cup under, you press the button, you're done. No tamping, no grinding. You don't need a counter space for the grinder, and pretty much anyone can operate it. You don't need to be a barista. You don't need any special training on this, really. You just press a few buttons and you're done. So yeah, that's makes it a great little machine for household use. And yeah, that's the Jura ENA Micro 9.